What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called The Last Caretaker. I spent 2 or 3 hours with the demo of this game back during the Steam Next Fest, really rocking back and forth between whether or not I wanted to upload it. Ultimately, I decided against it because the full gameplay loop was not inside of that demo. It was just kind of a teaser to get you into the universe. But now, the early access of the game is officially out, so it's time for us to take a look at it and figure out whether or not it deserves an exalted space on your coveted wish list. In this game, you are a robot awakening after a post-apocalypse has wiped out all of humanity, and you are going out into a water planet trash world to reassemble, scavenge, and just remake society effectively, which I think is a really cool idea. Has a little bit of like a WALL-E aesthetic to it. And so today we're going to play for an indeterminate amount of time to help you decide whether or not you wanted to get this game for yourself. It is quite expensive, so I'm interested in seeing how this is going to go as well. I didn't expect the game to launch at $35 for a price tag, but I did like the demo a lot, so hopefully it wins us over here today. If after watching this you wanted to get The Last Caretaker for yourself, you can absolutely do that. I got a link for you down below in the description. You can find that there, and then on top of that, you can also find a bunch of other Nerdcastle links, just in case you wanted to give them the old saucy click, because, you know, I love visitors on all my other mediums. Let's go ahead and start a new game, and let's have fun with it. So here we are inside of our little hibernation pod room. A lonely robot left amongst the spoils, expected to rebuild everything. We do have a flashlight when we start out. You can just hit the 6 key in order to make that function. It does make your power usage go up though, so pay special attention down at the bottom of the screen. There's 2 meters. Because you're not a human being in this game, you don't need to worry about food and water. However, in this title, you do need to worry about your electricity and also your hull integrity, and you need to keep those things up at maximum by any means necessary. And one of the cool little things about this game...
It's dark and quiet now. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Reconnect the power. Bring this place back to life.
Okay, I will absolutely do that. So one of the things you're going to have to constantly think about in this game is how to keep those meters completely and totally filled. I am going to do my best to loot everything that I possibly can from around here. We're not going to be able to get the power grid back on until we go into this room and we grab, these new Blueberry Blast Mountain Dew flavors for robots. They're great. It apparently didn't save this guy. He's dead as hell. That's what we are right there, too. I don't think I can actually do anything with him. Like, can I throw him at a wall or something and maybe he'll, like, break and I'll get some resources? Yeah. What we're going to need are these power cables over here because this is a very cable-heavy game. You're going to be connecting a lot of cables and making a lot of things work. Anytime you see one of those blue slots right there, it means you're going to need a power cable and you're going to have to run it to one of these batteries with its little diegetic inventory on it. And you're going to have to hook it up like so and then hit the breaker and all the lights will come back on.
Stored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker. Head to the docking hangar. There's something important there, waiting to show us our path.
I will absolutely do that, but actually I'll do it later. It's fine. I was going to refill all my meters real quick, but let's move our way on into the deep and spooky facility. So over here, we've obviously got debris. This game does use controls that are somewhat similar to something like Half-Life, or maybe something like Amnesia, where you actually have to interact with objects in order to open them. So like doors, you have to click and drag in order to open the door. I do like that control method. I find it to be very immersive. These terminals right here, this right here, if we hook it up to our ween, it will refill our health bar. This may not be pretty. This may not be one of the things you thought you were going to see on screen here today on the internet, but this is a normal part of the robot life cycle, and there's no need to be immature about it, all right? This right here is a save console. Get off me. That right there is a save console. You do the exact same thing, making this game quite possibly maybe one of the first games ever that you save your game by hooking your RoboWeen up to some kind of digital interface. They might be breaking new ground here. This might be brand new frontiers for video gaming. I don't quite know. I will move all this stuff out of the way so that we can use this door to get to where we're going. I'm going to pick up that teddy bear, not out of any sense of sentimentality, but because later on we're going to need a lot of crafting resources in order to get stuff done. Hit that button right there and the elevator comes back online. Is there anything scrappable in this area? Not really. We did get another battery, which is nice. I should probably recharge my battery pretty soon too. But let's call the elevator. So far I found that the game runs silky smooth and also has very, very gorgeous graphics in my opinion. It's a really good looking game. Maybe a tad too much motion blur, although from my perspective, any motion blur is too much motion blur. Not one of those settings that I've ever been a big fan of. But aside from that though, a game that has been really, really gorgeous to play around with for the last couple hours. This right here is the enemy that we're going to be facing throughout the course of the game. It's some kind of biomechanical sludge that spreads in between digital devices. I don't know exactly what it is. It wasn't explained inside the confines of the demo that I previously played through, but we'll murder it real fast. You may have noticed the animation for the melee attack in this game, absolutely awful. This is one of those things that I think should be a top priority to get it fixed up and actually feeling like a modern first-person melee attack. It feels very utilitarian and very, very asset flippy. Nothing else in the game has felt that way so far, so fair credit where credit's due.
Your vessel. More than just metal and circuits. It's your freedom. This boat is how you'll reclaim the seas, and perhaps even your identity. The dock systems are offline. Without them, we're trapped here. Restore the power, Caretaker, so we can sail again.
This right here is a portable battery. You're going to want to collect these everywhere you can possibly find them, because you can actually recharge these things, and that's our boat right there. We've actually made it to the docking area, and so one of the big mechanics of this game is you just keeping a salvage, I don't even know what to call it, like a salvage tug, basically up and running while you bounce in between different human installations to fight with enemy aliens or whatever the hell those are, and ultimately restore humanity back to like its previous glory. I don't know if humans are like out in orbit or something right now, just waiting on us to clean up the planet or what it is, but that's our job, and let's get to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gather up like every single diesel canister and every single small battery that I possibly can as we cruise around this little station over here. It's going to be principally important that we have those because our ship runs off of diesel, and so if that runs out, we're in trouble. Our ship also requires electricity to basically do all of its crafting and building functions, so we're going to need a lot of batteries as well. There's a couple over here, but let me gather those up and then we'll come back and we'll continue playing the game. A bunch of slimes just came out of a vent while I was gathering, and so I think I gotta murder them all. I don't know what the length is of my weapon, but they hurt a little bit, so like, let's just smash them up real quick. They apparently have serious arguments against the accumulation of my own power sources, but every single one of these we kill is giving us XP, because at the end of the day, this is an RPG where you unlock new stuff based on what you've done. I gotta get my electricity levels back up. There we go. Alright, that'll work out. I've got myself refueled, and so now I'm just gonna gather up stuff. Now, one thing I would caution you in this game is make sure that you look around. There are basically everything in this game can be salvaged, and this game is absolutely filled with like vents and locations that you can get into that will have pretty rare materials inside of them as a reward for you looking around to find those things. And so that would be my advice to you, is make sure that you're looking around and actually finding all this stuff. This starting facility that you're inside of, it is enormous. I'm not going to spoil, but it's definitely worth exploring. There are things around here that you're going to want. Having now plumbed all these areas for everything I can possibly get my hands on. Oh, nice. A few more things over here, too, laying around. No broken glass or anything on that side. Let's go ahead and crack open this door, and we'll try to get the power on inside the launch facility to make our lives a little bit smoother. I definitely want that. I don't think that window is broken, so I don't think I can get in there. Let's head upstairs, and if we see anything salvageable along the way, we will add it to our inventory. There is a vent over here that we can utilize because this door needs to be powered in order to function. There's no handle on it. The game's pretty simple about that. If the door has a handle, chances are you could probably open it even if it's not powered. If the door doesn't have a handle, well, probably gonna have to find a way to power it first. In we go to the administration area. This right here is gonna need to be repaired. We do start the game out with a big old handy dandy wrench, because everybody knows that when it comes to fixing industrial equipment, a pipe wrench is how all of those things are fixed. No other tools required. But this thing right here is going to take 4 iron to repair. And so that brings us to, like, where is the loot at inside these little boxes. So you can find refined materials inside of cardboard boxes in this game. There's a big pile of iron right there that'll make our lives easier. I don't think I can do anything with that guy, but there's a little bit of scrap right there and another battery. We're going to have to repair this first. What I have found is, despite the fact that the animation for the crowbar is really, really crappy in this game, all the other animations, they seem to be reasonably decent. I haven't seen how guns feel just yet, because the Steam Next Fest demo ended before you got access to the guns, but I do want to see what gunplay feels like. We'll hook that battery up right there, and hopefully it will be satisfactory to keep the entire facility powered up.
Each step forward reconnects us to a brighter future. Caretaker, you were never meant to remain bound. These waters were once pathways, carrying life, purpose, and discovery. Something awaits you out there, ready to be reclaimed.
Oh, and I'm gonna reclaim it. You best believe me. When I told you that this facility is much larger than it appears, go up those stairs right there. If you want to see how big the facility is, there's whole other areas of this place that you should probably explore before you actually set out on your boat. Your decision, though, whether you want to do it or not. Let's go down. We've been given a list of things that we need to do in order to get the ship up and running. I already went inside that vent. I think the only vent in this area of the facility that I haven't been inside of is actually, there is fall damage. Maybe I shouldn't do that. This game actually has quite severe fall damage for us being a powered robot that I assume we have hydraulics or something, but no. Since we already, oh. There we go, just beat the, oh, that animation looks okay. I don't hate that animation. What happened with the crowbar animation? Did you guys just, like, not get to it? It's fine, it's early access. You got plenty of time to patch it up and fix it, but I wasn't expecting the wrench attack to look so much better. The wrench attack, honestly, far superior to the crowbar attack. It's still not, like, fantastic, but it's definitely more of a, less of a placeholder animation, I guess. Gather up all this stuff inside the vent. Don't question how it got in here. Dude, it looks like somebody yacked all over this place. That's what it looks like. I get the vibe that my shins and knees and stuff are getting filthy down in here, which is not great. Drop that. Do I have a cable on myself? No, do not. Yeah, just drop the cable. I don't want the cable right now. I don't think there's any lights in here, but there are human artifacts, because one of the themes of this game is that you don't really know anything about humanity, so by finding things like a child's drawing, or finding something like a teddy bear, or like a pocket watch that has an engraving on it, you're actively learning about humanity for the first time, and like those that came before you. Which I would assume, actually, if the robot is capable of sentient thought and also the ability to just sort of commiserate, that it's kind of like thinking about God, if you think about it. Human beings created the robots, then all the human beings died, but the robots still persist, and so these little pieces of information they gather might be sort of like, I don't know, transcendent. Who knows? I don't know if robots are capable of wonder, but like it makes me wonder. So the first thing we need to do is we need to fill up the boat with 3 kilowatt hours of power. That shouldn't be too bad because there's power sockets like all over the ship, and these cables actually extend out pretty far. I'm gonna hook that up right there. The physics look really nice. I like that there's not really any major crimping or anything inside the line when you hook it up over there, but our ship is drinking deeply. You can see how fast that meter is going down over there. So we got it up to like 2.5 kilowatt hours, but we're probably gonna want more. I don't know why it's not continuing to fill. It stopped at 2.5, 83% for some reason. Maybe it needs like a bare minimum amount of current in order to transfer, or maybe it like equalizes or something. Huh, hard to say. Either way though, we can take this and we can plug that in there instead. There we go. I love that little animation right there, so we didn't talk about this. When you finish off one of these canisters, they go thunk, and they shoot their tops off, which, like, for whatever reason to me, makes me really, really, really happy. It's one of those little, I don't know, interactions with the game world that makes it feel alive, like this technology was designed by somebody. Inside of here, what is that? We picked up a glow stick. Okay, a dead chem light. Gotcha. I don't think I need my flashlight right now, but we do have a diesel engine cylinder. It doesn't go over there. We're going to have to put it inside of here to get our diesel engine up and running. Is there anything inside of this bay? This bay is going to have all of our other crafting benches inside of it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. What do I need in order to repair the diesel engine? I need more plastic. All right, I can probably figure that out. No power, connect electricity, and turn it on. Yeah, so I will go, where's the nearest socket right there? We'll put that right there. And then we'll hit the switch, and now we should be able to manufacture things, which will be good. We can make optical lenses, and we can make battery cells for right now. The other thing that we're going to have to hook up is this guy right here. I don't know how badly it's going to drain down our power. Luckily, there's like a little thing you can look at inside each of the rooms that tells you exactly where your power grid's at for the moment. But we're going to have to salvage some stuff. So let's interact with this guy, and we are basically going to want to throw every last piece of scrap that we have inside this thing. And as you can see, it gets straight to work. It's actually quite noisy compared to the rest of the silence of the game. And then all of our resources are just going to pop out on this side. We'll gather these up. I do find the looting of resources to be very, very satisfying in this game as well. All right, so at the end of the day, we ended up with quite a few crafting resources, actually. We've got a lot of stuff laying around. Copper and iron seem to be the vast majority of what we were able to salvage out, but we also got a little bit of polyurethane. We got some silicon. We got omega-3, which I have no idea what omega-3 is. Unless is that like that nutrient you got to get like your omega-3s so that you can be athletic or whatever? I don't know. Did our power go down at all? Yeah, that did considerably drain our power, unfortunately. But we have the resources required in order to fix the engine, so let's get that fixed. There we go. All nice and fixed up and repainted, but we are going to have to pick up this cylinder, and we are going to have to connect it right there if we want the engine to actually function. I don't know. That's the reset switch. I think all of this is controlled from the console that's up inside the cabin of the ship, and so I don't think we need to fool around with it too much. This guy right here will change the amount of electricity. This is basically just an alternator for the ship. Generates electricity, and the more of these things we find to plug in, the more efficiently it'll do it. Same thing with cylinders over here. This is like our ship's performance over here. This is like our ship's power grid, and so we've got to maintain both of those things. Next thing we need to do is refuel this guy on diesel. Luckily, we have a free and available diesel line right here that I should be able to plug in on that side. Looks like we can have 1,000 liters of diesel inside of here. That's a pretty serious capacity. What is that thing? Oh, it's another diesel cylinder. Nice. I would like to throw all these crates straight off the ship so that I have more room, but for right now, we'll leave them where they're at. And then, don't worry, we're going to litter in the ocean, but we're going to do it later. Okay, 1,000 liters loaded up. We are going to have to figure out this power situation, though. I don't know why this battery is no longer putting kilowatt hours in here. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't like that cable either, so, like, I suppose that that's just the way that she goes. I don't really want to use my energy canisters to do this. I would rather keep those as, like, a food source for me. But, even though it says optional, I think we might have to. Yeah, it looks like each one gives us roughly 0.4 kilowatt hours, so we'll keep that in mind for our overall calculations, too. There we go. All right, nothing else to be done with. Oh, the canisters. Maybe they can be salvaged. I didn't realize those were lootable. Okay, that's good. There's another one down here. We might as well. What do they salvage into, does it say? Metal scraps, actually, is what it recycles out into. We're about ready to sail on out, but let's go up to, actually, let's do our, so we've got skills over here. Let's level up. At level 5, we get a gun. I want a gun really, really badly. Like, I think a gun is a good idea in this game. But with the 6 skills we have on hand, let's start out with an engine cylinder. We'll learn how to craft that. We've got a dismantling tool. That might be helpful. Electrical yeah, let's just pick up all of the basics. We've got splitters for our cables. We've got all of that. And we've got a solar panel right there. Being able to make my own batteries and diesel engine cylinders might be a good idea. Oh, we can get an electric pistol over there. I didn't even see that one inside the tech tree. Okay. And then we also have enhancers over here. These enhancers are basically us leveling up our character. I would like to increase the size of my internal battery. So we'll get like an extra 100 watt hours. I would like to optimize my electricity usage, and I'll probably actually take that up quite a bit because I hate filling up meters. And then from there, I would like to increase my lifting strength too so that I can pick up heavier objects. Alright, cool. So I feel pretty happy with where we're at right now. Small solar panel array that is capable of generating 900 watt hours in optimal conditions. Okay, we'll start using that stuff in just a minute. We also have other supplementary objects on the ship. I don't know exactly what this is. It looks like it might be some kind of pump. It's got a pump-like look to me. Yeah, so it's got a water line right there. And so I'm guessing it's a water pump. This right here is a dredging net, just in case you wanted to get your raft on, like the game raft. You can put down a dredging net as you're sailing around, and it'll grab trash just floating out of the ocean that you can utilize to make yourself a little bit more diversified when it comes to resources. But let's go have a look around and see if we can find anything else inside of here that'll maybe help us level up and get us to the point where we have enough resources to where I'm feeling confident about what we can manufacture, because I don't want to leave here without a gun, I don't think. Power grid's working, so upstairs it looks like we got some plastic, some wires, and some other stuff. This guy right here, there's no power coming out of it. It's not drawing anything, so I don't know if it's useful to us, but we can go. Oh, it's nighttime right now. Oh, that's creepy as hell. I don't like that one tiny bit. Although the lighting effects are actually fairly fantastic over here if you give them a look. Like really, really good looking stuff. I will click on my flashlight for a second just as we look around for any loose material that might be in the area, but there may be bad guys around here too, so like I'll whump them with my wrench if we come across them. A few more little pieces of loot right there, but not too much to write home about. There's a camera right there. Somebody's still watching. What else we got going on around here? Over on this side, it looks like there's a few more salvageables. Broken glass is good. A little bit of aluminum right there. Is that what that was? Was that aluminum or plastic? Either way, the game has like a rarity tag for most of the stuff that you pick up, and I found that things like tungsten, aluminum, that kind of stuff tends to be like hard sought after. It looks like we do have some leeches up here that we should probably deal with. There we go. Get them. Oh, what the hell is that thing, dude? I don't remember seeing that during the course of the demo. I don't know what that is. Maybe a new surprise? I don't know. The music just changed like we were in combat. Let's beat all these guys down and gather what we can. There we go. Perfect. If I wanted to fix the solar panels and get... Oh, I was standing on top of that right there. Let's break it real fast. I can fix a solar panel. So, should I? I mean, I've got more than enough resources, and my job as the caretaker is to repair all this stuff and get it all up and running, so might as well, I guess. Can I actually siphon? It's got 1 watt-hour output. It looks like I can very slowly charge myself up from this if I want to, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. We're probably going to have to go back inside pretty soon, too. Oh, dude. Listen, I'm very blessed as a robot, all right? God gave me certain gifts. Let's continue whumping all this stuff and getting rid of the little robots. All the things that are just siphoning off of our supplies over here. There's a whole bunch over there, too. I don't want to deal with that at all. Grab those goodies, and let's repair this guy. Oh, we don't have any silicon left. Okay, we're going to have to track down some silicon. Oh, these are going to need to be hooked into the overall grid. You got to daisy chain them. Okay, I will definitely give that some thought. Wonder if I just take this cable right here and hook it up to here. It is transmitting power of a kind. However, this splitter, I think, is the important part. So, like, I think we want this to go over to here, and then we want that to go to there. And whatever other cables I have laying around are going to need to go somewhere. So, like, oop, nope, do that. This guy right here, feed that into there. Let's fix this solar panel real quick because the sun is on its way up. And I think I can actually fix all this up too. This guy right here, I don't have the glass or the aluminum or the silicon that I need in order to fix it. Neither for that guy right there, but I'm guessing having more of these that are hooked up to the overall grid is going to be a really good idea because right now we're running this entire base purely off of a battery. That's it. We're running the whole thing off of a battery. And so, what is that right there? Does that open? That doesn't open, but I see something on the other side of it. Where's my entrance at? Ah, looks like over here. Let's beat this down real quick. And now that that's been taken care of, the door actually started to function again, so that's good. That saves me a little bit of time. No kilowatt hours coming out of there, though. But this is still hooked up to, like, the main grid. Okay, so there's, like, another manufacturing facility up here. And a free battery. I'll take that. My battery is getting crazy low right now. There we go. I'll just charge myself. And one thing that I noticed, a nice little detail, your flashlight, it gets brighter and darker depending on where your battery's at. Like I noticed when I was eating batteries nonstop, the brightness of my headlamp was going up. What's inside this vent over here? Anything that we're interested in? I don't really want the barrels, but... So we've got a lefty and a right... Oh, it's you again. Get out of here. Oh, there's so many! Fall back. Christ. Never thought that I would meet my end at the hands of bubblegum, dude. I didn't think Big League Chew would be my downfall. Mom tried to warn me that maybe I was eating it too much, but like, Oh my God, there's more of you? How many of you are down here? I mean, the cork is out now, so it doesn't really matter. We just gotta fight our way through. We are getting bio lights off of them. Are there any more of them back here? I don't think it's really gonna matter because my battery is draining. Let me go back and recharge and we'll continue this adventure. Fully charged! It's time for us to get back into action. Weather seems to have taken a turn on us. The good news is that should mean that the turbine's over there up. Let me hook them up real fast, dude. I'm trying to recharge these base batteries. All right, back down into the bubblegum vent. Hopefully this thing works out better for me this time than it did last time, but my power consumption on this flashlight is real fast. Let me get my wrench back out real quick just in case. I will loot all of that. I think I can get back up if I jump down here. You do have a vault animation in this game, and it does actually feel pretty good to interact with. Tell you what, we got loads of, dude. We got, like, endless amounts of cloth. Bash that thing real quick. Stay away from my loot, man. This is my loot. This loot does not belong to the bubblegum. Okay, a few little goodies over there. We found an electric grenade. Interesting. That fall seems like it'll probably be fatal, and I think I know what that connects to, in all honesty. Remember that shaft we dove down into, like at the beginning where you could look up forever? I bet you that's where that falls out. And then we've got to check the left-hand side, too, because who knows what we left behind over here that's going to be salvageable and or useful. Another big drop right there that I'm not brave enough to go for. I think I saw another vent inside this room that was just across the way, so let's go see what's inside of that. In here... Get this crate out of the way. Maybe, just maybe, there's something useful back up in here. Yeah, we got salvageables. Okay. A few more wires over there. I am overweight right now, though, so I think we're going to have to process a lot of this stuff off. We're also going to have to come up with storage mediums and things for what we got on us. Ooh, a ladder. Where does the ladder take me? I think I caught the ladder. Yeah, you gotta push a button to interact with it. I thought he would just attach to it normally. Oh, crayons. Nice. I'll pick those up. Crayons are going to expand our lore of the universe. And then another electric grenade. Duffel bags, I haven't figured out a way to open them yet. I don't know if you can, like, break them. You can break them, and it looks like it gives you one fabric when you break them. I don't know if it's worthwhile to do so, but you can. There's another room over there, but for now, I feel like we should probably load up in the ship and just go have a look around the neighborhood. That's probably the big thing that the audience has been waiting for. So I'm going to make a little edit right here. I'm going to process out all the material that we have, and once I've processed it all out and gotten my weight down, then we will go ahead and sail out of the front of the building. So I think we need to open the bay doors first in order to get this thing out of here. I think that would represent a pretty solid impediment to our ability to move. Let's do that. Hell yeah. Open it goes. We are now on the open seas. There's landmines everywhere, though. That makes me feel kind of nervous. I guess sea mines everywhere make me kind of nervous. All of these canisters are breakable, and all these crates, by the way, it just takes a while. So until I have a better weapon, I'm not really going to be breaking open boxes or anything. Let's start the salvage process real fast. And the yield was quite good. I love the slot. Like, so what this reminds me of is when you hit it on a slot machine and it's like ring, ding, 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 ding. Like, there's like a little drip of resources that come out while it's processing, but once it gets done processing, it's like hitting the jackpot at the casino. It's kind of dopamine inducing in all fairness. I can't help but think that that was probably by design. Let's go upstairs and let's see what we can do with the actual console itself. Like, what are we capable of here? Let's go to the captain's deck and see what we can accomplish. So everything appears to be online in this area. We do have a map over here too. Cool. Okay. I don't have a compass, so oh, we do have a compass, actually, I think. So we're bearing north right now. Okay. Lift anchor. That's probably a good idea. Let's lift anchor and then pilot the boat. Yeah. Oh, no, I still have the diesel line hooked up. I still have the diesel line hooked up. I'm that guy. No! Whew. Okay, I got it in time. We're not going to explode and die. We're going to be okay. We're not on fire, I promise. We are going through diesel fuel pretty rapidly right now. Let's give it a little bit of full ahead, and we'll just kind of see where we end up here. I don't know if we're going to be coming back to this place or not. Okay, Beacon 49 it says. We need 2 kilometers before we get there. I'm just going to leave her on autopilot unless I see something that we need to dodge. And I'm going to do various maintenance tasks around here. I think that's a good idea. If I drop the net, will we pick stuff up on the way over there? I don't know. Let's let it run for a little bit. It looks like it has a weight attached to it, so it looks like we're possibly picking something up. Fine by me. Oh, the engine. I thought the engine was on fire. The engine is just working right now.
Crafting skills and generate your own resources to survive. Begin by fabricating a Lumalite solar panel.
Ooh, I like the manufacturing animation too. That looks pretty cool right there. Okay, well, I'm just creating refined materials right now, like things like alloy frames, lenses, batteries, stuff like that, whatever we might need in order to get ourselves up and running. I wanted to check. We've only gone like 0.5 towards the nav beacon. However, we are headed towards a minefield right now. So let's get back up on the top deck and let's see if we can avoid these. So let's go hard to port. There's some kind of like critter over there. I don't know what happens if I hit it with the ship, but it looks like we also lose like 5% of our speed while the net is down, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. I dig that. I did want to check the net, too. Yeah, the net actually fairly productive. The net brought in a whole bunch of scrap and goodies. Okay, so we will want to be using the net pretty extensively while we're cruising throughout the game world because it looks like it gives you some solid mass. I'm going to try to pull into whatever this little platform is first, and then we'll worry about what we're going to do next after that. I don't know how to disembark on this thing, though. I don't see anything that looks like a dry dock attached to it, so we'll just have to figure it out. Do those crates say fart on them? That's pretty awesome, dude. This is a game after my own heart. I've explained this to you guys before. Every single save file I've ever had in my entire life was named fart because you can type it with one hand really, really quickly. And also, it's funny, and deep down inside of myself, I'm like a 10-year-old. Let's see if we can pull back on this place ever so slightly. Oh, there's slime everywhere. That's not good. Oh, the slime has boarded us! Hold on, we have boarders! To the defense, boys! Die, bubblegum! It's probably gonna... Oh, we're going backwards now, too. Where'd it all go? There it is. I'm going backwards at the moment, which is not what I wanted, but, you know, there was extenuating circumstances. Let's take her back up to, like, 20% throttle, and we'll just slowly ease her in. All right, anchor's down, and we're looking okay, although it does say that we've got durability damage because I think the bubble gum is chewing on the hull right now. All right, iron. We've got the anchor down, and then you guys need to die like right this second. Get off my ship. There we go. All right, so we've got that cleared. We are going to need to refuel a little bit with these small diesel canisters because the trip over here was very, very expensive as far as fueling goes. I think we used up about half of our fuel just getting here. There we go. And then you over here, we've got... Well, I don't want to repair you. I want to pick you up and then bring you over here. I have vague questions about... This guy doesn't look like he has a port on him that allows me to use him, but, like... How do I attach him over here? I don't see a port anywhere. If I knock it over, will that work? It doesn't want to be knocked. There we go. Is that a port? Oh, that's a diesel engine cylinder, dude. I'm stupid. I thought this was a diesel tank. Okay, let's bring this back over here then. And let's plug that in over there to make the ship have a little bit more horsepower. Power grid's looking a little bit rough right now too, but I do have a bunch of manufactured goods over here ready to rock. Hopefully it doesn't overweigh me. It did. It absolutely overweighed me. Okay, well, since I'm now overweight... Oh, these are really heavy. Okay. What I did want to do is, I think one of the first things we're going to need is like a storage crate of some kind. Do I have storage crates around here? I only have 4 skill points. It says the Durapack is a storage container. I'm going to get the gun, and then I'm going to get the wind turbine, and I'll probably take the diesel engine cylinder. That way I can make us... I don't know if it's going to make us more fuel efficient or how that's going to work, but I'm going to try to make one. That way things go better. And with building here, what do we have going on? So, like, first and foremost, we probably want a gun. We're going to need conduit wiring, though, for the gun. Can I make conduit wiring? I can make conduit wiring. Okay. Give me a conduit wiring, and we'll just mash that out. We'll add that to the crafting queue real quick. There we go. Do I have to make the gun over here? Maybe I have to make the gun over here. Make me a gun. It probably costs me electricity to fire it, though, which is going to get real expensive. My gun is officially manufactured. All right, we now have a firearm, which I think is good. It's going to be the 2 key for my firearm. Oh, there's like attachment slots on the gun, too. You can get like little reflex sights and like foregrips and stuff for it. That's kind of sick. I don't know. Do I put a battery on this thing somewhere? It's got no ammo right now. I think I have to hook it up. Yup. I had to hook it up to the power grid of the ship in order to charge it up with bullets. Okay. I mean, that'll do for now. It's not arcing to anything, so I'm guessing maybe it tracks and arcs to enemies. I don't want to drain the entire ship battery, though, just like charging up my gun. Well, we've got 100 rounds with this thing, so we should be a little bit safer. I'm going to need, like, storage spots before too long. All right, everything's dropped on the floor, and we're back up to maximum speed. So let's go into this facility and see what's over here. I don't know. I think I can make that jump perfectly fine. Yeah, that feels way more efficient to me than fighting them with my hands. That's good. Let's just zap these dudes up. There we go. All nice and zapped. We've got a marine fender over here. It's really just a roll of tires. Metal junk. Gas boiler part. Interesting. We do have a... Ow! Little bastard. What just hit me? I don't know what just hit me, but something just hit me. Either way... Oh, I have no wires left either. Okay. So we've got biohazard trash cans. We've got basketballs. What can I do up here? I don't think I can hit that from here. I can pop. Oh, there's so many. Die. I got bad news. We gotta do some Errol Flynn shit out here, and I gotta go kill these guys before they cause any further damage to the ship. Ow. Or me. Both of those would be important. All right, so we got them off the ship. I need to recharge myself, but I'm a little bit worried. Oh, I have no electrical cables left. It's okay. There's electrical cables over here. It'll be fine. Hook myself up to this. And then hook my gun up to it as well. And if I have to, I'll use some of these battery tanks over here to refill our electrical grid. But I do think it'd be a really good idea for us to get, like, maybe a couple of, like, solar panels or something on board. Might also be a really good idea. Like, if we could get a couple of just, like, wind turbines up here that connect directly into the ship to give us a trickle charge, I'd be cool with that. I'd be fine with that situation. Oh, there's another engine cylinder over here. And we have a free healing station. Okay, well, let me hook this up to the power generator, too. That way we can store more power, this capacitor or whatever it is. There we go. All nice and hooked up. I don't know if that's going to increase the total that we can hold. Hopefully it will. It still says 6 kilowatt hours. Maybe it just makes us more efficient at using electricity. Sort of hard to say. Up, up, and away we go. Oh, there's more of you little turds in here? Ah, they're everywhere, dude. And they all want to eat my boat. Okay. We all safe to come down? Nope. What else we got in here? We got more crayons. All right. Nothing that I really want to break. A little bit of fabric. Hey, cables are good. A gas cable. Okay, so like our infrastructure is going to get a lot more sophisticated. I did notice all the ports and things that were on the side of our manufacturing area, and it looks like we're going to need gas. We're going to need all kinds of stuff. Anything else down in here? Looks like people were living inside of here. Not exactly the most dignified way to live, but hey, I guess it's better than the alternative. I hope I'm getting XP for all this, man. Because it is being quite resource intensive, right? Oh, I ran out! I ran out! Give me that. Okay, we got to beat them all to death. There we go. I got a heal station on the ship. It'll be okay. Oh, there's so much of it in. Oh, Jesus! Swing wildly, rip and tear until the job is done. Okay, batteries. We got a camera up there. That'll probably be good for salvaging. A little bit of glass. Oh, we got all kinds of goodies in here. Let's go. Okay. Love how satisfying the looting is in this game. Like, it feels really good picking up all of these perfect concentric stacks of things. Does this go anywhere? I'm not trying to, like, fall off into the ocean, dude. I'm guessing that robots and ocean water probably don't mix. I'd rather spend a lot less time. Can I break that right there? The answer is eventually you can break that monitor right there. It takes a bit of time, though, but you do get tech scraps for it. I'm gonna mine this guy's booty hole real fast. Okay, I beat on this guy for hella long, and he's not breaking, so I think the game is making a pretty strong argument that we should build the dismantling tool. I think that's what the game is implying to us right now, is that, like, hey, you're gonna need a dismantling tool, but I see a canister up here, and I want it. No, that wasn't really what I wanted to do, but I will grab that. We'll jump down and bring this over to here, because I do need to refuel the ship real fast. We went through half of our fuel just getting this far, and so, oh, nope, don't want to fix that. I want that cable right there, and I want you to refuel the ship as much as you possibly can. Pop! So satisfying. I love it every single time, dude. So satisfying, that little pop sound whenever you refuel. Well, how's our fuel tank looking right now? Fuel tank is at 1,000 out of 2,000. That's good. That puts us basically back at what it took us to get over here. And so I think we should be all right as far as that's concerned. Electricity is a much larger concern, and so maybe taking some time to not only fill ourselves back up on electricity, but also fill the ship up on electricity would be a good idea. I don't think we need that right now, the water pump. I think this is going to purify water, and then we're going to have to run a water cable all the way over to here because it does have a water plug-in on that side. Yeah, the ship's pretty low on power right now. I'm going to do something about that. I think the best way to solve this would be just putting solar panels on the ship. It looks like I can make 2 Lumilite panels, and so I think I'm going to do that. With the Lumilite panels, it says that they generate quite a bit of electricity. I think I want them on the top deck, but it looks like I can put them kind of wherever I want. Yeah, put it right there, so we'll get one on the front of the ship right there.
Good job. You've successfully learned to craft and produce resources.
Well, you know, I'm applying myself. I'm doing my best here, but we also want these to be kind of near to ports. That way, can I put them on the ground? I can put them on the ground. We would have to worry about shadows and things if it's on the ground, but let's just drop one right there and maybe another one right there. However, I think we are going to need a splitter in order to make this function properly, and those are queued right there. Okay, what's this pulling? 1 watt-hour? That's not very much, but hey, I figure it's probably better than nothing. Let's take this guy right here, and we'll just have it trickle charge the engine on this side. Just attach that like so. Oh, never mind. I need both ends. God. All right, so we got that right there. We'll take this over here, plug that in. Hey, there we go. What's it outputting? It's outputting something. I mean, 1.9 per second isn't bad. That's something. It's better than having nothing, all right? It may take us a little while to recharge, but charge is charge, dude. I figured I'd also put, since we're going to finish all this stuff off, we're going to need a splitter right here in order to make this work. And so I'll put the splitter maybe like right here. Yeah, that'll work. Take that off my clicker, though, real fast. And then we're going to need that to run to there, like this one to run to there, this one to run to the opposite side, and then that port to run over to here. That way we're actually generating solid amounts of electricity. It's not really producing that much, and nighttime is almost on us, but I need another solar cell. Damn. Give me another solar cell. I like the way the game tells you all the things you need. So you see that little yellow number right there? It's pulling some total from everything on the ship in order to finish its queue. And so that's really, really nice. That helps you figure out what you need to finish all the projects that are like in progress on board. I like that quite a bit. That's actually a really nice piece of quality of life right there. And so now that all of this is done, we'll connect you right there. We will connect you. Oh, nope, don't do that. We'll connect you from there over to there with the little shorty boy. And then I got to go find some more cables around the ship in order to make this function. Luckily, cables don't go anywhere. Like, they just kind of stay on the ground once you deploy them for the first time. And so I'll plug you in right there. This is going to be a horrid daisy chain mess. I can tell already, dude. I can already tell that the organization of this situation is going to frustrate me. This is a little, it's only a 3-meter cable. I don't think it's going to be long enough. There we go. Get all 3 of those plugged in. And if each one of these is drawing a couple of kilowatts, we should see some recharging happening. It may be too late in the day. Like, I don't know if we're pulling as much as we're discharging right now. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to figure out if that's actually working up to specification. I'll probably get a turbine grid over on this side that'll feed into this one the exact same way. That way, when we don't have sunny days, but we have storms or whatever else, we'll still be drawing a little bit of power. It would be very, very nice anyways. But these guys right here aren't really outputting a huge amount of electricity right now, and this guy's not even connected to the grid at all. I can detach it, and I think I can reinstall it elsewhere, but we're out of ports over there. So, yeah, we would need yet another connector over on that side, and it would just turn into a mess. We're going to have to do it at some point, but for now, we'll just kind of leave it where it lies. We're still draining a little bit faster than I would like, but let's finish off this location real quick and see what other stuff is around, because we haven't picked up everything yet, and we already found a fuel canister, which was very, very helpful. Oh, I was going to make the disassembly tool. That's what I was going to make. There's also another power canister over there that I can use to recharge the ship. A few things inside of here. What did I just pick up? Rifle tri-ammo. Is that what that is? Oh, yeah, dude. We got electrical EMP rounds for an assault rifle. Okay. We've also got a petrol grenade. More bio slimes all over the place. We got some wires. Wires are good. Wires might help out with this situation. That is, after all, what a robot, any proud robot, is made out of. But yeah, let me see what I can do here in order to get that disassembly tool made. Because the disassembly tool, I presume, will go way faster than just whacking things with a crowbar. Can I manufacture big batteries too? Like, did I ever unlock that? So we've got cylinders and things, and I've got little batteries, but I don't have like the big batteries, which is what I would like to have. Technically, I could consume these batteries and then hook up a cable, because you can change whether electricity flows to your robot or out of your robot. Like, this game has a lot of options. Every time I think that I'd like to be able to do something, you're actually able to do it. And so that's the nice thing about this game. We need turbine blades in order to make those. I can make the Durapack right now, but the 2 Durapacks that I just made over there are going to require a lot of stuff. I think I have enough for the display screens, and I think I have enough for the alloy frames. Yeah, there we go. Alloy, make it happen. And these should just like spawn into existence now, which means I'm not carrying around a bunch of heavy stuff with me. I love that, dude. I absolutely love that it just draws from whatever's on the ship. Fantastic, dude. Just utterly fantastic, straight from the rip. And then we've got our container over here, which means I can start storing things up. And since the game has been drawing from the entire ship, I'm guessing it's just going to craft out of the crates, which is a fantastic development. I can't tell you how many of these survival games I play where nothing pulls out of crates, so you're constantly doing inventory management. You're constantly, like, fiddling with things. It'll drive you nuts, man. It'll drive you crazy. I don't know how much this thing can hold, but it looks like... Is it... Oh, it's full. Okay, so we can't put anything else inside of there. Let's just deposit all, and we'll just kind of keep everything with us. That way we're all nice and unburdened. Power grid still... We're losing power right now because it's nighttime. I don't want to turn the power off on the ship just yet. I have to hope that we'll make it till morning. That's really what I'm hoping. If we can make it till morning, I think we're in decent shape. And I should be able to trickle off these 2 batteries real fast. And then from there, we should have the electricity required to keep ourselves up and running. But there's a considerable amount of just early game fiddling you've got to do in order to keep all this stuff up and running. All right, number 1 right there. Number 2 right there. Woo, it drained that one with a quickness. Did that help? How much electricity did that add? I got to go back up to the captain's cabin. Man, I should have made the wind turbines. That's what I should have done. It doubled the amount of power that we have on board, and there's another canister inside the actual facility right now. But let's make that disassembly tool, and let's see how good the disassembly tool is at actually finishing off some of these robot bodies and things that are laying around. I do have enhancers too. I'm gonna increase my carry weight real fast. There we go. Carry weighted up. Good. All right, so my carry weight's all good and solid now. I would like to figure out where in the hell... Oh, I already have it on me. Okay, cool, man. Well, now that I know that I already have it on me, that's good. I may actually need to siphon power off for myself. That may be something that needs to take place actually fairly shortly. Now that we've seen to the ship, I do not want to dismantle you. I want to hook you up to me. There we go. Whew, that's the good stuff, man. This has got to be like robot dialysis, dude. This has got to feel fantastic when you get it done. And then as far as salvaging goes... Okay, I see what's up. We got ourselves like a little sawzall to play around with. Hell yeah, dude. Well, let's get to the salvaging. But this right here is the Last Caretaker. As far as I can tell, we're also going to have like a colony of humans at some point, because there's a stat inside of your stats page that lists the number of humans that you've managed to grow and like bring back to the world, which I find to be kind of fascinating. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually pretty impressed with this title right now. Like, I've had a really good time today. I can't think of a whole lot of things to complain about, except for some of the melee animations and the gun animations not really looking altogether that fantastic or awesome. But at the end of the day, I have found the game to be really, really enjoyable. It's kind of like a little mixture of a dad game, which is something like, you know, Viscera Cleanup Detail or whatever, or when you combine that together with something, you know, actually survivally. Like, I dig the ideas that they're playing around with here. Hey, can I hook you up to me? Yeah, you go right there. And it costs me a lot of energy to salvage, so, like, if I can just suck that dry, because the ship's only got to make it till the morning, and then hopefully the solar panel grid will actually get this thing back up and running. Grab the cable off of here, but this is the Last Caretaker. I think the game's pretty cool, man. I think I'm going to dump a lot of hours into this game. In fact, I'm already thinking about how much I'm going to be playing this game. Keep in mind, it is in early access, so the game isn't done yet. What is that right there? A store? Oh, it's a petrol cylinder. Interesting. Keep in mind that the game isn't done yet. This is in early access, so there will be that horrible point where you get really into the game and then you ultimately end up being like, oh, I ran out of content. That's kind of where the game's at right now. But it's definitely a game that I want to play more of. I'm going to dump some serious hours in this game. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out with me, and that's all I got for you, folks. Bye.